In this video, we are tackling the laundry room with a much needed makeover. These are a few before pictures of how it looked. I hope y'all get some inspiration from the video, and as always, leave questions and comments below.
Get out!
Go. So let's talk about our laundry room. As you saw, I spray painted below our hot water heater. I did that because there was some raw wood down there. The glue wasn't covering a lot of it from when I pulled up that linoleum. So I wanted to cover any just straight wood I saw. just so when I put the mortar down, it didn't suck any water into the wood. When I did the main area, I really didn't see any places where I thought water would soak into the wood, so I just put the mortar straight down. We grouted, I wiped it up as you saw, and now you see there's a film on here. So I usually just wipe it once. If it's really dirty, you wipe it twice, but then I'll let it set. And what I'm gonna do is grab cheesecloth or something, and this comes off actually really easy. And that's a lot better than using that wet sponge because it just moves it around. So after we're done with this, we'll get started on the walls, patching holes, and then hopefully figure out a design to keep going with it. So as you saw there, I made that really tight for my dryer vent, and that was a pain to get on. So if you ever do that, you might want to do an extension or something so you don't have to fight with it. But the molding looks good. The next thing I'm going to try to do is we're trying to figure out a way to block this hot water heater. Now, it's got to be a temporary block, that way you can take it out if you ever need to do work on the hot water heater or it's leaking. So what I'm going to do is build a frame and put a beadboard inside of it. And we're going to put it up there, see how it looks. Then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to attach it, or maybe just lean it against the wall or something where it hides the hot water heater, but it looks nice. So it looks more like just a laundry room. And as you see, we painted everything white, including the ceiling. I got 2 more pieces of molding, base molding to put here and right there. But let's start building this closure. So as you saw, I was really struggling with getting this together. This beadboard is like warped in the middle, so trying to get it in that straight groove was a pain. What I ended up doing was putting it together, but I figured out I cut it like a 1/4 inch too short, so it was barely getting into one side of my groove. So I ended up having to pull it out, which is sitting here. And luckily the other side that I cut in half was exactly the right size. It's not exactly how I wanted it because I wanted it to be even on both sides. So you got a bigger space here, tiny here. But I think it'll work. and it's not really going to be noticeable when it's up there. But I think this will be a good cover for that hot water heater. So we'll go up there and see what it looks like. So I'll put the washer back in here to get the height for the countertop, which again is going to be about a 1/2 inch or maybe a 1/4 inch over the top. My washer was lower than my dryer, so I ended up building a base to raise it up so they'll both be the same height. For my water heater shroud, I'll show you what I ended up doing. So instead of seeing any external hardware, all I did was put 2 screws, one in the top, one in the middle. And on this side, I just put, I think this is curtain hardware up top and down here. So to take it off, all you have to do is lift up, and to put it on, just set the screws on those hooks and it'll flush it up with our board there, and keep it nice and tight. Just like that. So the next thing I'm doing is figuring out my middle support for the countertop. What I'm thinking is putting it middle of the room, so if it comes close to the water or drain lines, what I'll end up doing is notching around to give me enough room to get back here and work if there's ever a leak or ever have to turn the water off. We'll also do the same thing with the countertop, because the countertop is going to be almost right in the middle of this. So I think the plan is just to do a circle around, just so you can reach back there and get to it. But I think we'll go ahead and measure that out and see what I got to cut. So now we're working on the countertop build. The plan is to put a countertop over the washer dryer. I'm going to have about a 1/2 inch gap, air gap, between the countertop and the top of the washer and dryer. These are going to be the supports, or the legs. I have 3 of them. The countertop itself I'm going to make 28 inches wide, and these are 27 inches, so it's going to have a 1 inch reveal. The plan is to attach these to the back wall. I'm going to use pocket holes on the back side to attach to the wall. What I have to do now is cut for the baseboard. So I'm going to cut a rectangle around just so these fit flush against the wall. So I'm going to start working on the countertop now for the laundry room. I got these from Lowe's. I believe they're $18 a piece. Got 3 of them. They're 12 inches by 8 foot. They're an inch, so 3/4 inch thickness. So the plan is to laminate these 3 together, like I've done with my cabinet top and my tabletop. I haven't done a lamination of this thin of wood yet, but I think it'd be fine. So I'm going to try it in the laundry room. I'm going to cut these down. My width I want to be 61 inches, so I'm going to cut these down to 65 inches. That way after I'm done laminating them up, I can trim them down to the appropriate size. So what I'm going to do now is cut them down. I got to take 1 3/4 off of each of these to make my final width of 28.5 inches. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. So I changed the design a little bit. As you see, I have my one leg here. I built 3 of them. What I decided to do instead was put 2x4s along the walls. What you saw me doing there was I had to notch out with a cord. The cord's going to fit down here, then this notch here. This is 3/4 inch or countertop. The only thing I'll have to watch is if it starts bowing in the middle. I do have, like I said, 2 more legs, just like this one, that I'll be able to slide in right here if I think this is just too much weight. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in so you can see what it looks like. So like I was saying, it's in now. I mean, it comes down a little bit, but we'll see. I mean, if we are putting a lot of weight here, I mean, that's all my weight right there. I'll put one in the middle. This was actually really easy to work with to laminate it. So I think if it's your first time, I know I did a couple countertops with 2x8s and 2x10s. These 1x, the 1x12s, is probably a good first step, especially because they're easy to handle. Like I can handle this one easily by myself. The kitchen top for the table, that one's pretty heavy, so you kind of need 2 people to handle it. So this is definitely a good first try. I think the stain looks good. As you saw, we mixed red oak and preconditioner together to kind of lighten it up a little bit. So I think the next thing is to probably start doing and my camera died. So as I was saying, what I am working on now is the wall cabinets. I'm cutting out everything here, including the shelves and face frame. Then I will do the assembly. I do these enough, you'd think I would mark the saw to see exactly where to put it, but I gotta do this every time. So I got my 2 upper cabinets built for the laundry room. Also, I got the 2 cabinet doors built. We're gonna do 1 door per cabinet. So I just put the face frames on, as you saw. Now I'm gonna wait for the wood filler to set. I'm gonna sand it. We're gonna paint these 2 and the doors. One thing I messed up on is the crown. When I did my measurements, I measured without my face frame on. So now I'm 3/4 inch too small, so I'm gonna have to stretch these. I'm gonna try to cut me a 3/4 inch piece of crown and glue it to the end and see if it's that noticeable. We're still gonna paint these, so hopefully it blends in. If not, I'm gonna have to get a new piece of crown. And those of you that know, crown is very expensive nowadays. I think I got this 12-foot piece was $35, and I used the whole thing for these 2 cabinets. I had a little bit left over, but not than as much as I need for the side. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to stretch that and see if it works. It actually doesn't look bad. I think once I paint it, you won't even be able to see that. So maybe I just saved myself some money by not having to redo these crown pieces. All right. Give a little update. You saw me build a little, I guess a trim piece what I'm going to put here, but it's really going to be stabilizers. I didn't like how much that flexed. I mean, I think this is almost 5 feet across. So I mean, that's a lot of support that has to give, and I mean, that's only 3/4 board. So I got little support pieces going to go in there. Back here, I've got a little trim piece I cut. It's just a little, I think it's a 2x1 or 1x2. And I painted it The side, also got another little trim piece I'm gonna put to cover that gap. And also that crown molding, it didn't go all the way, so I got a little sliver crown molding I'm gonna slide in there. So that's also getting painted. These are gonna be the shelves I put in the middle. This is left over from this countertop. So I'll just cut these down. It's a foot. I'm gonna have to shave this one a little bit more too, because it's a little too tight. And I want to leave room for just a little bit of wood movement. You saw me put my pins in for my shelves. All my shelves are cut, and I'm gonna poly them just like I did the inside of this. These, I think we're gonna be painting blue to like tie the whole unit together. And to attach my shelves in the middle here, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna drill little pinholes, put the little metal support brackets, and just sit them right on top after I router them out. So now I'm working on the doors. So we have bifold doors. I have this one broken down into two. It's a little dirty still. We're gonna have to clean it and paint it. We actually got it for free. Our neighbor took his off and used solid doors, so we're gonna use these bifolds. I'm gonna try to use the hinges that were in place for the doors that were here. We have hinges that will allow this bifold door to open pretty much like this, like all the way against the wall. So I don't know if it's gonna work with this trim. I'm also gonna have to put another piece of trim down here, show you, because I have a gap like that. So I'm gonna have to alter this door frame a little bit to make this fit. So we'll start working on that. And as you see, the laundry room is finished. It came out better than expected. Most of our designs were on the fly. Like these two cabinets, we weren't exactly sure what we were going to do, and we just built both of them and put them up there, and I think it turned out great. I also like the wallpaper design. That was all my wife's idea. I was just going to leave it a white wall, but I think that definitely gives it a touch of character. The cabinets are actually really big inside. Tons of room. The space in between the shelves is 14 inches. So if you wanted to, you could even add more shelves. But I think that's going to have room for tons of storage. I really like these hinges. They allow the door to open almost all the way. But when you close it, there's a spring mechanism in that hinge that locks it shut. So I don't have to worry about putting anything in the casing on top or the bottom to hold these doors shut. The countertop, again, came out great. I did not nail it down or screw it down. I think it'll be easier to remove the countertop if you ever need to take this piece out to access the hot water heater. But other than that, I think we're finished with this one. I guess we're off to the next one. Go ahead and throw some comments below what you think about the design, or if you have any questions about it. Thanks for watching.